It creates the sense that there could be something here. It creates a sense of distrust between the community and the law enforcement agencies. But it also speaks to a broader problem, as you pointed out, Poppy, that people are saying, which is that there is a question about whether or not black bodies themselves are inherently violent in the minds of some law enforcement officers. This is the problem, so that when a black person is walking down the street with or without a gun, they are seen as deserving of lethal force. That's an issue in Charlotte. That's an issue around the country that we keep saying replay over and over and over again. And the questions we have about violence against black bodies, male and female, is something that plays out in other sectors of our lives. As long as we see black people as not fully human, then it makes it difficult for them to have full access, not just in terms of being treated safely and properly with dignity by law enforcement, but also in the job realm, in terms of housing, in terms of education. We have to get to the deeper issues of racism and indeed white supremacy here.
So one of the things that is different, obviously the cases are completely different, but when you look back to Ferguson, for example, and you look at what has transpired since then, the police chief here is black, Mark Lamont Hill, and that is something that has not been broadly discussed. Is that, does that matter in all of this as people are looking at this from through the lens of race?
It shouldn't matter. There's a question here about how black bodies are treated by law enforcement. If black people happen to be agents of those institutions, if they even happen to be leaders of those institutions, look at Sheriff Clark in Milwaukee. You can have the same mentality as the most vicious white supremacists. In fact, you are a white supremacist at the level of how you perform if you believe that black bodies are inferior and worthy of lethal force. So I'm not interested in the officer being black. I'm not interested in the police chief being black. I'm not even interested in the president being black. If justice doesn't look equal for everybody, we didn't march and fight and struggle to get beaten by black officers. We did it so that everyone would have an equal shot at being treated with dignity and treated like a human being.